Hello, hello, testing. A second. Hello, hello. Hmm. Hi there. Welcome to the stream, Patrick. Looking at this screen, I'm pretty sure I removed that latest sponsor thing from the actual template, and I've only had the latest subscriber in, but I suppose I was wrong. Thanks. I wonder how big the delay is in here. Let's see. Oh wait, I can actually double check this just by opening up Streamlabs. Okay. Oh good, it's only like 3 second delay. Like I can look at my stream my OBS, and I can see the difference in the timer between that and on YouTube Live. It seems to be just a 3 second delay. Quite good. So yeah, once again I started a bit early just to make sure there are no technical issues before I actually start the actual live stream. Yeah, so the purpose of this live stream, it's like you already know, I'm basically just going to try to complete that previous work I started. And okay, I'm just gonna swap over to being live now. Yeah, two people watching. Probably just you and me. Let's see. Full screen recording. And here we are. Hi. So, today is a bit different. I've done something with my model. So, I've not actually changed anything, but what I've done is I figured out how to get the expressions to register. So, smile, shocked, angry. Okay, angry is really difficult. I don't know why. I guess it just doesn't know when my eyebrows go down. Like, okay. Angry expression is just really difficult for some reason. I don't know why. Sometimes it works when I'm setting it up, but other than that, it's just not working. Hmm. But I can smile at least, so that's nice. I can smile, it'll mash my blinks properly this time, so I can wink. So basically, and I've got physics, limited amount of physics, as makes sense, of course. So, yeah, back into the corner I go. Oh yeah, I can also rotate myself around now thanks to that. Yeah, I oh, I can also move slightly lower, higher and lower because now it's like part of the actual. There's proper tracking is available. The thing is, there's one software for tracking the hands and stuff. Last stream, I was just using that alone because it was complicated. I couldn't figure out how to set that up and the other one up because a webcam can only. I found out recently that is pretty interesting. A webcam can only be used by one software at a time, and I didn't know that before. It's pretty insane, isn't it? So you have a webcam, you can only use it for one software, and how you have to fix that, okay? So you use that for a virtual software, okay? And if you do that, you'll be able to use that virtual webcam uh, on a bunch of different software, okay? But the software for hand tracking doesn't accept OBS, which is the default free virtual webcam I have. So what I've done now is I've downloaded another virtual webcam and I'm using that on free trial. So I'm using that and I'm basically sending my webcam inputs into that. And from there I'm doing the hand tracking and I'm doing, the me tracking. Basically, if it's not my arms, I'm tracking it in VC Face. That's just a program where Starlight is loaded. It's really complicated. Huh? Am I still? I am still live, right? Yeah. Hmm. Okay. So yeah, I suppose I'll come back to that later. It doesn't really matter too much right now. Uh, so what I've got going on is over here I have the art, which, okay, to be fair, should I keep it like this, or would you prefer it if I just made it full screen proper? Because I'm not 100% certain what. Oh, wait a second, I clicked on the wrong thing. Ignore that. I shouldn't be up. Yeah, it's a screen capture. I could just make it like straight up full screen. But I don't know why. I guess it's the main issue is you can't see what's here. What's I can move myself quite a big distance, but yeah, you can't. It's just a color wheel. I'll I'll leave it like this, and I can just move all the way if I need to show you something. There we go. That should be good enough. I don't want to make the actual what if you feel the need to, you can go. I mean, yeah, fair enough. I guess if I really need to, I can always just actually zoom in. But yeah, I just don't want to hide too much. I don't want to like make it too small because I'm not the main focus, and I don't have anything that I can actually put over here. I don't actually have any overlay that can fit in the back, so I'm just gonna use this black background. So the first question would be, like, here I've got this going on. I'm gonna just hide this old stuff because I don't need it right now. This is where I left off last stream, okay? Now the question is, what size? That's the first main question. What size should I do this in, right? So this entire canvas is 4K, so that's like, you know. So it's over here is fairly small in comparison. So I'm just like wondering how big do I want to go about this. Uh, Step one is I'm just gonna take this art that's already been made. I'm gonna just sorry. I'm gonna select it all, shift select it all, right click, move to create folder and insert. Okay, I'm gonna call this R. Okay, then I'm gonna copy the folder. I'm gonna merge that layers. I'm gonna lock this. I'm gonna delete the other stuff because I don't need that anymore. Okay, I had to click the actual button instead of just tapping the keyboard. Hide this. So I guess it's a matter of size, right? This would be a respectable size, but over here, if we go like this is full K, which means that you'd have like, I don't know. You want to go full K? You know what? I'm gonna go slightly less than 4K. Let's say I'm gonna do about this big, right? So if I do about this big, it's a bit less than 4K. You know, it's still more than the regular 1080p Full HD, but it's a bit less than 4K. I think this should be perfectly fine. 4K looks fine, but slightly is yeah. It's a matter of like 4K means like true 4K is gonna be taking just a lot of work. So I'm gonna basically reduce the opacity and lock this, okay? Now, one of the main things is I actually wanted to basically do some learning with this while I'm at this, right? So I've got this actual starter kit, which I don't know how to use. I'm pretty interested. I've not tested these things out, which, to be fair, I probably should have looked at these first before, I should have looked at these first before I actually started. But, so I got this line art tool specifically, some brushes. Just that's rough line art, this bold line art. This line art seems a bit big by default. That's interesting. This is the. I don't usually draw with rough line art like this. So that's pretty interesting. Okay, I'm gonna have to work on my vocabulary. I don't really. I usually like this is the line which comes out of this thing, right? What happened to my model? Oh no, I'm broken. Oh. Oh, my webcam turned off. What happened there? Hi. Yeah, okay, I'm back. Okay, right. Well, anyway, this is where things come together. So, you see, this is the this versus so take a look here. This right here, this line is the new start set I got, okay? Yeah, it's fine, don't worry. Thank you for being here. So this line is the new set I got, right? It's just some free starter set from an actual art from another artist, and I was like, yeah, I'll take a look. Why not? Looks pretty good. I don't really need it for my idea, but I'm like, I could use it. It might blend well because I'm gonna just try mixing the lines and the shade. This is the brush tool I like using. Well, I guess it kind of depends on exactly what I'm drawing. I like drawing this usually because it's like a nice harsh edge, but sometimes I'll also just use this tool if I want to make like softer lines. Especially if I want to draw in 4K, I use this because it's just cleaner. I mean, cleaners might not be the right word, but it feels better, smoother. So I feel like I'm gonna try drawing with this new line art, and I'm just gonna have to see how it goes, right? Because that's today is pretty much just the learning stream for me. Because again, one of the main purposes of this channel is to learn essentially. So I'm gonna start drawing everything with this line art tool, and I'm gonna have to just see how well it goes. So I'll maybe draw at least part of our main character, Bash, and I'll see like if there are some issues with it, then I'll probably just swap over to the other tool. So here we go with the eyebrows. Maybe I should make this smaller. Strange. Am I doing something wrong? Some pretty weak line art tool. I'm making it smaller, but it's the effect isn't really getting that much smaller, I feel. Strange. Is this meant to be drawing like super high definition art? If so, I guess that does make sense. You know, if it's like super high definition art, then like something of this consistency should be fine, especially if we look from a really big distance. Might be a bit of an issue. Softer lines, maybe for the veins. I don't know. You know, I think it's probably better for me just not to use a new brush right now. I'm just gonna go with old reliable. This is the tool which I've been using, so I'm gonna stick with this. First step, I'm gonna just use a symmetry tool on this boy because I originally drew him in the symmetry tool, right? So it's probably better to just stick with it because I don't need to like reinvent the wheel. I don't need to do double the effort if I'm just gonna be using the, you know, if it's I drew him in symmetry, so I might as well keep true. So ears first. I'm gonna start with the ears. Fairly distinctive feature of orcs. They're kind of like elves. I don't know why exactly. I guess pointy ears are just like part of the heritage, right? If I remember correctly, isn't like based on the game, right? Based on the series, game, story, whatever it is, the orcs are kind of like brethren to the elves or something of the sort, and it's just a matter of they picked the wrong side. In D&D, I think orcs are just orcs, right? And they only got these ears because just some, I guess they're like vaguely fey creatures. Is that right? Maybe. Feel like I'm not able to put out as much energy as I want this time, but it's fine. I'm sure I'll be able to work something out just fine. Fun facts. Goblins mean ugly elf. Really, in what language? In elven language or in goblin language? Or is it in English? Human language, common. Celtic. Got more coffee? I don't drink coffee. I don't drink coffee. I never drink coffee. You know, I was thinking about it the other day, right? There's a thing that shouldn't exist in this world. There's a thing that I do not believe is real. Well, probably many things, but this is the one thing that sticks out to me. This. 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 I don't know any way to describe it other than a creature. This hideous creature, yes. Turkey. That's what you people call it. I don't think it's real. Just look at it. I honestly cannot believe that this is a real thing. Like just look at these cold dead eyes. Okay, Control Y, Control W, Control F. Look at that beak. Is this supposed to be a bird? What is this? This is a beak fitting for a Cthulhu-esque creature, and this weird testicular meat sack just hanging from it. And look at just how it's built like a goddamn beef tank. This is not a creature that exists naturally in this world, okay? This is clearly a hellish creation, just purely made with magic. Oh yeah? Well, I refuse to believe that this can be a real thing. Just, this is a monstrosity. Like, look at that. Just, whoa! It's just, look, it's just insane. It's ridiculous. And whatever, Turkey shouldn't exist. They have no place in the rightful in this, they have no rightful place in this universe. I can't believe anyone would pardon turkeys. How do I close this window? See, they're so fake. Yeah, tangents time. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just like these turkeys. Okay, turkeys are so fake. They're adorable. Don't get me wrong, but they're also eldritch abominations. They're so fake that a president has to actually pardon turkeys. Huh? The president of one of the world's biggest country has to come out and just pardon turkeys for their war crimes against reality. Oh, I love it so much. They're despicable creatures that shouldn't exist. Hunter spiders. Hmm. You know what? I feel like I don't want to look up what a hunter spider is. I'm angry enough about turkeys being real. Just birds in general are a bit weird, but they can be pretty adorable. A turkey, though, it defies all common logic of like what is a bird. They're fat. They don't. Their beaks aren't beaks. Their beaks are just weird noses. They can't fly. You know, it's like they're trying to steal all the worst attributes of like chickens and penguins. Well, to be fair, penguins can swim, so that's a plus point for them. They don't need to fly probably, but it's like they're stealing the worst attribute of chicken. Like there's a fat chicken, and then turkeys are just all no, they're all just fat like that. And then noise, gobble 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 gobble. What? I'm sorry. That's just one step away from like a Japanese frog actually just saying kappa kappa. You know? I am thoroughly convinced. I'm thoroughly convinced turkeys aren't a real thing, or at least they're not like a. They must be man-made. If not man-made, they must be made as a cruel, sick joke by some petty minor god who can't do anything right. They are catch birds for fun. Do you mean that the turkeys catch bird for fun, or people catch turkeys for fun? I mean, I can see how people can catch turkeys. They don't particularly seem to have any excellent running away abilities. They seem to completely fail at every aspect of that. Yeah, I wouldn't be too shocked if turkeys can't run away. Especially if people have cars. Well, to be fair, if people have cars, there's not much a bird can do if it can't fly. The hunter spiders. Oh, really? Hmm. The more I learn about your world, the more I start to fear it. The internet's a wonderful thing that you can look up all the stuff without having to go out and experience it yourself. Well, books were the same, I guess, but you know, people consider that a good thing for some reason. I would love to look that up, but I'm just going to talk about it instead while I'm drawing. Australia is a scary place. Yeah, I've heard about that. You know, it would make sense. I imagine some of the Eldritch gods like hanging out around there. Like good old Cthulhu. Him living under that specific lake or whatnot. It's probably a lake in Australia. That's where the hunter spiders are from. Yeah, I imagine. Sounds like a Australian thing, you know? Everything in Australia wants to kill you except the people. Ah, okay, right. I had to reopen OBS because OBS stopped working for some reason. That's very strange. Okay, whatever, I'm back. Did you hear me complaining about, those. Yeah, did you hear me talking about Turkey, the country? So, what's the national bird of Turkey? Okay, so yeah, I was basically just questioning. So, does the country called Turkey just? I got a question. What is the national bird of Turkey? I hope it's not the turkey itself, because if there's a whole country of people that respect and worship that animal, I'll be very. I don't know if the word would be disappointed, very concerned, I suppose. With your world. Although, to be fair, it's okay. Although, to be fair, if there's an entire country worth of people worshipping this eldritch abomination, I'd have to say respect to it, right? I mean, you go get them, girl. If you're gonna get a cult, you might as well get a cult the size of a country. You're not sure? Well, I could look it up, but today's stream, I feel like, is about trying to get this art done. Although I wouldn't mind just a stream where I randomly talk about these weird things. That does sound fun. But I don't know. I guess I'd have to become a variety streamer, which, to be fair, this is just my third stream or something like that. I could totally become a variety streamer. There's a random chat hangout. Like, let's talk about Turkey. Gabu gabu. Oh god, if there was a demon lord in this world, it would probably look like that. Just it would look like a turkey. The hunter spiders are, from what I imagine, they're more like just, these night abominations or something of the sort. Oh yeah, by the way, but Turkey's national bird is the emu, which is called that, which is why the... Oh my god. Okay, that's hilarious. Imagine you become the natural bird of a country, and then the country gets rid of you because you're too much of a nuisance. I love it. I love that so much. It kind of feels so Callian. Callian is they're the cat people in the comic, the same race as the main character Aldo. Yeah, the Callians are insane. They're insane and basically monsters. Monsters in vaguely humanoid form. Oh yeah, by the way, do you think it'd be better, like, I'm always looking towards this side, right? Do you think it'd be better if I actually went into here and reset the position? So that now this is me looking at the actual, this is me looking at the drawing board. And then now if I look towards the camera, this is what it looks like. Just this is me staring directly at the camera now. Okay, right. So I'm just gonna continue on with the art then. Probably move it. What do you mean move it? I changed the orientation of my avatar. So basically now it looks like I'm more or less looking forward when I'm here, looking at the drawing tablet. Because I just felt like maybe it shouldn't look like, I'm staring off all the way to the right when I'm supposed to be, chatting. Although I guess to be fair, I am doing that. I am staring off all the way to the right because the chatting, the actual monitor with the top chat on it is way over there. Meditation's good? Okay, good. Good to hear that. So here's where I'm at so far with line art. Uh, I've gotten our boy so far. I'll have to just add in a bunch more details. I'll probably do them separate. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just focus on Bash. Why did I forget his name? God, I'm I'm so forgetful. But yeah, I'm gonna focus on Bash first. And he's got hands that could ring a turkey. Yeah. I'm gonna focus on Bash first. And then I'm going to think about the other people. Because I just really want to get to the stage where I could practice the shading. Because it was a pretty interesting idea I did learn about. Just actually do the shading first. And then you do the colors over the shading. Was it under? I think it might have been under. Yes, probably under. But whatever. If your intelligence is low enough, either or both the same thing. Did you read my comparison about Australia and the underdog? In the chat, I didn't see anything like that, but I'm pretty sure I heard about that somewhat. I mean, it is called the Down Under after all, right? So it's not that far from the underdog. Hey, you want to go to the Down Under? Or the land down under, right? You want to go to land down under? I mean, the underdog? Oh, sure, I'd love to meet him. I'd love to meet a drow. What? No, mate. I'm talking about Australia. Oh. No, I'm sorry. I'd rather take my chances with the drow, the the thousands upon thousands of vicious fantasy monsters, mind flayers, giant spiders, rather than Australia. God. What god created Turkey, I wonder? Do you think it was a god, or do you think it was just a malfeasant prank? Like, is there any other bird that looks as weird as a turkey? Like, to your knowledge, is there anything else that looks, any other bird? I'm talking about birds specifically, that looks as weird as a turkey. Like, yes, they're adorable, don't get me wrong. But not much more adorable than, like, a pig or a chicken, or a cat or a dog. I could derail this stream so much. Platypus. Platypuses aren't real. They're dead now. Hold up, let's look up a platypus right now. Platipus. Platypus. I mean... Oh, wait a second. No, I was mistaken. I was thinking of the dodo. Yeah, the platypus are real. They exist. I don't know, that's just adorable, don't you think? It's just... Okay, this is fake. This is 100% fake. This is far too cute to exist in reality. Oh, it's so adorable. The platypus is just an otter with a bill of a duck. It looks like God just stuck on a duck. Just God made an otter, and God was like, "Wait a second, Hmm. Wait a second. You're a copy of that other thing. Here, no, wait. Have a beak. There, now you're perfectly different. You're completely different. There's nothing. You're nothing alike. Oh no. Weird birds. Okay. This is fake, right? Yeah, this looks fake. No, wait. It could be real. Uh. 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 Ah! Um. I'd like to retract my previous statement. What could God? You know what? I'd like to retract my previous statement. Looking at all of these, I'd have to say a lot of birds are just eldritch abominations. Just they do not really exist. These are just uh, this is just the penalty your world has to face for making a deal with whatever that guy's name is, right? DL Cthulhu? Not really Cthulhu. Cthulhu's daddy, maybe. What creatures do you think God made a deal with Satan for the most wacky thing? Listen, God and Satan. I'm not gonna differentiate the two really quick that much. I'm not sure one of them exists. So yeah, basically, I'm gonna say just all of birddom, everything in here, all of these things. God and Satan must have gotten together and just had a laugh. If they're two separate people, they're just like, oh, this is Photoshop, right? Come on, this is Photoshop. This is 100% Photoshop. I'm not that stupid. Listen, I might have a very low IQ, but it's above zero. This is 100% Photoshop. I know this. It's just a pigeon. That's just a pigeon. I could have done it. That's just a pigeon and a shark. Okay? They didn't even put feathers on the head. But I believed it for a split second. Okay, first off, a land shark. No, that's a human. We call those humans here. Peacock. Peacock? Hold up a second. Are peacocks that weird? Oh, I don't know if I want to be typing in P into the Google search, but okay. Okay, I did it fast enough. Listen, peacocks are beautiful, majestic creatures. They got this weird thing going on their forehead, but otherwise they're perfectly fine. Look at them. They're adorable. They're also show-offs. They're such little cocks. This is an eldritch abomination. You cannot tell. I know. Only one person watching. Okay, whatever. Let's get back to the art. Okay. Like, I'm just distracted by just birds now all of a sudden. I get the feeling I just want to try making a bunch of new gods out of birds. I now that I've seen that, I think I have a series just figuring out what the deal is with birds. Shark on land would be scared. Well, listen, you already have sharks on land. They're called humans. Oh, what is what's the specific word? Lone shark, right? I don't know. They seem to be perfectly capable of being on land, on any kind of transport. Fair, yes. Like, sharks aren't as terrifying. Like, shark attacks, as far as I know, like, sharks aren't like creatures that'll just rush out and just want to kill humans like 24/7. You know that the movie Jaws was like greatly exaggerated or something. Like sharks are for the most part just animals that just eat. You know, like animals. They're not gonna wander out into like a mass of human beings and be like, yes, free eating, because they don't know. They don't know that humans are like perfectly edible. They don't know that humans can't fight back. They see a huge number of people and they're gonna be like, I don't know, is that safe? They're pretty big. But sharks aren't like super massive, are they? Yeah, shark attacks are rare. Like even if you saw a shark on land, right? Oh my god, I remember there's this really bad movie about a shark that was on land. I can't remember anything about it other than the fact that the CGI was really, really funny. And I think the shark just appeared like in an aquarium or something, and then it went and it got into a car. Or am I thinking about Codename Kids Next Door? Not entirely certain. Orcas are the wolves of the sea. I guess I believe that, but aren't orcas like orcas? Yeah, aren't orcas like big whales, giant whales? Did they pack hunt? This reminds me of a joke I heard. It's like this defendant in court is basically like, I'm innocent, I would never hurt anyone, and in the criminal law, the prosecutor's like, defendant, could you state the name of your species for the record? And then the defendant counsel's like, oh, objection, leading, or something like that. I don't know. I don't remember what the actual objective was, but that was pretty hilarious. Just because it's a killer whale. I love birds, but after what I've seen, I always just thought that I always thought that the turkey was the exception and just the only like eldritch abomination. But looking at it now, I realize that a lot of birds are just eldritch abominations, aren't they? And now I'm just even more curious about them, and I need to learn. I need to learn a lot more about them. Like, what makes a bird? I imagine it's the wings and the feet. But yeah, that's like some strange stuff. I didn't even know that before. When I always looked for birds, I just found regular, boring birds. I didn't even know there's a whole world of just eldritch entities posing as birds. Avians? Yeah, just harmless avians. I am just a harmless avian, pay no mind. Humpback whales will actively go out of the way to protect seals that... Aww. Oh, that's nice. That sounds adorable. Wholesome. Dolphins. Dolphins look adorable, right? They're absolute assholes. Like, I've heard about dolphins. They're just some of the most vicious creatures out in the sea. No self-conscience at all. They'll actively just go after people and just want to kill them. Not humans, I think. It's more like just some vicious bullying and stuff within dolphin species, as far as I can remember, I think. It kind of just plays into that nonsense. Like, honestly, I don't understand why people are like, oh, we are only willing to eat these animals, but not these animals, despite the fact that all the animals are just as cute, right? And then they're like, no, we will only eat these animals. It is not acceptable to eat these animals. Why? Well, because these animals are they are too cute to eat. Nonsense. They're all adorable. Huh? Why would you discriminate like that, right? And it's also, oh yes, animals. Animals are the most peaceful creatures. There's no violence in the animal kingdom. We are the only natural it's only humans who are violent versus, you look at the animal kingdom and there are plenty of assholes out there who basically make humans look like angels. Dolph- Dolphins are assholes. They look good though, you know? And that's basically the only reason why people are okay with that. The only reason why people are okay with dolphins is just because they look cute. That's it. I swear, if dolphins looked as ugly as they actually were on the inside, right? People wouldn't like dolphins as much. But they look absolutely adorable. And thus, all sins are forgiven. Huh? They are too cute to get angry at. Yeah, I suppose. Like, I would, if I see a lion, I would think, oh my god, that's adorable, and then I would be dead. Because it's a lion. Like, lions, bears, and all of that, they're adorable. You know, it has this picture, right? This one annoys me a lot. Like, was it PETA? I can't remember now. Oh god, my memory is blanking so much. This just kind of stood out to me so much. It's not PETA, those people are too obvious. It's this other thing, right? There's this channel on YouTube, I think, about like just cute animal things, right? But they're actually like they're like cute animal things, and they're supposed to be promoting like treating animals well or whatnot. But actually, they're just promoting treating animals horribly. Like one of the main things is like having a different species of animals just coexist next to each other. Like I think hamsters and cats or something. And basically it's a matter, oh, just let them be in the same house. It'll be adorable. It looks so cute when they're in the same video together. Regardless of the fact that, one of those creatures is built to kill the other creature, and the creature who the smaller weaker creature is just absolutely terrified and might just die of a heart attack or something of the sort, or could get hurt at any moment. Because what's an animal supposed to be like? Oh, is right or wrong, this is my friend. But no, it's an animal. you know they're not see, they might be people, right? You can call them that, but they're not human. They're not seeing the bigger picture. They're only really seeing, like, what's how do I best describe it? They have emotions. They also have instincts. A lot more instincts than humans, you know? And their instincts tell them that that other little creature is food. And even if they, like, even if you could, like, get them to coexist, right? If you could get them to overcome all their instincts, why would you risk it when there's always a chance of something going wrong? Yeah. Like, there was this picture, okay? Hold up a second. Hold up. Can I find this? Okay, hold up. I'm finding too many pictures here. I can't 100% tell you which one's the right one, but I remember hearing about this, okay? There was this picture or a video or something of like a grizzly. Yeah, there's a video of a bear, okay? Petting a dog, right? And everyone is like, oh my god, that's so adorable. And so this YouTube channel, which is like specifically like focused, like this network, which is like all about cute animal things or whatnot, right? Supposed to promote like how to take care of your pets and all of that stuff. They posted this video and they were like, oh my god, so adorable, so good, so cute. And they leave out the fact that the bear just eats the dog. Like, legit, it's not petting the dog, it's checking the meat quality. Like, humans just, they see cute things, right? And they just like, oh, it's so cute, yay! And it's just kind of like, they're kind of putting aside all the other questions of, have you ever looked at someone and just wanted to think and just thought, right? What's going on inside their heads? And well, sometimes it's a matter of, oh, that's adorable, and sometimes it's a matter of, I'm hungry. Can I eat this? Yeah, like when you see like videos of just cute animal things or whatnot, it's I've always got a question like, okay, is that a cute animal thing, or is that like just something actually dangerous that you shouldn't be allowing your animal to do because they might get hurt? It's unfortunate, but that's kind of how you're supposed to approach things now. Because, cute things are cute, yeah, but at the same time, if you want to be, if you want to care for an animal, you got to put aside what's cute and focus on, like, what's good, you know? Lowering your survival instincts. Yeah, survival instincts are one thing, but sometimes it's like your survival instincts are kind of irrelevant. It's also just a matter of you're discounting the survival instincts of other animals. Like the reason why that bear ate the dog was because they forgot to feed the bear, I think, if I remember correctly. And I think it was like on video also. So that channel, like they clipped it out, you know, about the bear eating the dog, and they just acted as if it's so adorable. See, even this terrifying predator, can be so lovey-dovey and cute with this helpless creature, which, you know, well, it it can be so lovey-dovey and cute with the helpless creature in its stomach. This is something you always got to like be careful of. Just because something's like adorable, like see these two, okay? I I think they're absolutely adorable, okay? Bash and Dubin. I love these boys. I would absolutely hug them. But this guy here is smart enough to realize that they could accidentally just crush him. If they hug you back, you can hug them, but if they hug you, there's not going to be much left of you when they're done. And this isn't even just like they're being malicious or something like that. Well, first off, they're ogres, right? So they've got their own natural instincts. But second of all, they're big and strong, and you are neither, right? So what's gentle to them might be soul crushing, like might just be it'll snap you in twain like a freshly dried twig. Also false advertisement. Yes, well, yeah. Did you know like some people buy animals just to have them look cute, right? And so there's these things called mini pigs, right? Which they're so tiny. Like, are they mini pigs, or I think they're called like teacup pigs? They're so tiny. It's adorable, right? But here's the thing. They grow up and they're like giant actual pigs. Like Logan Paul had that whole thing going on where he had, his teacup pig, he just apparently had it abandoned. There's a whole story going on, like it's he gave it to someone who gave it to someone else and all of that stuff, right? But the thing is, like with these teacup pigs, it's like people, like influencers, will buy the pig thinking, oh, it's so small and adorable, and it'll always stay small and adorable and good for videos. And then it just gets absolutely massive, and they don't know what to do, because they don't Google. Yeah, it's teacup pigs, mini pigs. They don't Google it. What? Yeah. Dubin might be a pacifist, but he's also a big, giant ogre. So, him patting Bash If he applied the same level of strength to a regular person, they wouldn't be around. They'd have like a perfect impression of Dubin's arm. But yeah, like yeah. So basically, it's a matter of like if you're gonna get a pet, the least you could possibly do is Google it. Like it totally just pees me off when I'm like looking up like, okay, when I'm seeing all these videos of just like people, they become pet owners, right? And they don't actually take into account that their dog or cat or whatnot is an animal, which is a living creature, which is not a human. It's not a human, it's an animal. Okay? Like a lot of pro pet websites also are very clear about this fact. Do not treat an animal like a human. Okay? You can treat them like a person, that's fine, but do not treat them like a human. Do not expect them to be like, perfectly understand you. And basically, like, you gotta be very careful with your training because animals are animals. Yeah, you can love them. You can love your pets without basically pushing your ideals onto them, right? Like some crazy idiots, okay, who like vegans, and they try to make their animals live a vegan lifestyle as well, despite the fact that no, no, you know, animals should eat what animals should eat. Like if you as a human want to go vegan, go ahead, sure, right? But animals, certain types of animals just cannot. Humans are omnivores, some animals are not. Like people who have gators here in the States, but even they understand, yeah. Like, there's nothing wrong with having pets and animals and whatnot, but it's kind of like a matter of, there are every living creature has wants, needs, and instincts. Well, I guess I shouldn't talk about instinct, but yeah, they've got wants, needs, and a certain set of issues. Like humans have all sorts of issues. Animals too can have all sorts of issues as well because they're living creatures too. And yet it's kind of like it's not as obvious with an animal because animals cannot speak the human language. And so most people just do not realize when there's something wrong. Gators in Florida are like rats in New York. They get big. Yeah, I believe that. I believe that the gators in Florida are also honked up on Bud Light 24/7. Alligators are like the Florida men of reptiles. I don't know why it took me so long to just like figure out what species they are a part of. They're a species, it's just a category. I don't know why I'm talking about animals now, but I figured why not? This is a chill and art stream, and we already talked about these guys so much, and it's just now working on the technical stuff. So what else can I talk about? I remember. Was it in Florida? Yeah, some Florida teen or something got arrested because he like pulled a prank where he went and he got an alligator and he threw it into a delivery building or something, like a fast food service place. If you have a pet, what do you want to get? Well, for me, um, no, not particular. Like, I don't know. It's complicated. There's a lot of issues. First of all, we've had birds. They were fine for the most part. Really, really, you know. And for the most part, they were okay. It's just, birds don't live too long. Then we tried having a dog, and we realized it is really difficult having a dog. Like over there, our relatives, okay, back in our hometown or whatnot, they've got a dog. So that's pretty adorable. There's a dog over there. There have been a few when one dog gets like old enough that he reaches the end of his life or something like that. Then they get another dog in, but there's only just one dog at a time. And it's nice. It's adorable. We tried having a dog, but it's a lot of responsibility, and I absolutely am not I'm not capable of such a thing. I'm barely responsible to even take care of myself. So, the way how I see it, if I get a pet, I might want to get like maybe I'm thinking a cat, just because you know the way how I see it, cats kind of like have a they mostly take care of themselves essentially. Like, okay, as long as you feed the cat properly, you love them, you take them to the doctor when they need to. There's not like a huge ton of stuff a cat needs to do, because a cat will mostly just, you know, sit there and just stare at you or something like that, right? Otherwise, I'm just thinking something like, I don't know, a house plant. I do think it'd be nice to have some house plants around. I can sit here and I can talk to them like I'm talking to you on stream. Except I can't. Except they won't reply back. Houseplants would be the best, but bad memory. Not bad memories, just I have a bad memory. Yeah, clean the of yeah, yeah. Of course, you have to clean the. Cats can be tough. You don't take time clean. That's fair. That's why I don't think I'm gonna be capable of a pet. So I'm just gonna have to do a house plant. I don't think I can even take care of a house plant, but I'm gonna have to take care of one. Like we had a house plant, it died sadly. Uh, I named the house plant Gita. So we got it, and I think it was a neem plant, if I'm remembering correctly. Um, huh. Hold up a second. And the delay has gotten quite bad. But yeah, so we had this house plant called Gita, and everything was going fine. Like it was a small plant in a small little bowl, right? What a bowl, plant pot, turtle tortoise. Turtle tortoise, awesome. I would love to have one of them around. I just, would be very scared that I wouldn't know what to do, right? But anyway, yeah. So we had a house plant called Gita. Like I said, probably a neem plant. I can't remember 100% correctly right now. It was in this small little uh, cup, right? So it came, and so basically, every day I just I just fill water for it. Any excess water would drain out the bottom because it's that kind of a pot. But eventually, Gita kept growing, right? And what we ended up doing was we bought another bigger pot for her, which like what was we bought this big pot, and this big pot, like we bought also a whole bunch of soil to compensate, but things just kind of went wrong, and I'm not entirely sure like what. Like one of the biggest things is we moved her to the balcony, which basically no one uses. So it's like the balcony of this room actually. Like in this house, there are two balconies. There's one right next to the kitchen. Now, it's not a huge place. They're just two balconies. Uh, like there's one balcony right next to the kitchen. That's where every day someone will use that. Okay, that's a balcony we mostly just use. And then there's another balcony over here for this room. Okay, I'm looking right at it. It's right past the camera. But the problem is, like, for this balcony, there's kind of there's no reason to use it because there's the main road right there, and it's very loud. Oh, I don't know what happened to my hand over there. Don't worry about that. So yeah, basically, I kept forgetting that Gator was there, but I kept trying to do my best to water her. Okay, but she just eventually just started dying. And to be fair, I have no idea if it's a matter of the soil, the plant, and all that stuff wasn't right for her, or if it's a matter of I was just not doing the watering stuff properly. I don't know. It's also a matter of that particular pot didn't drain water, also. So it's like a matter. So I look at it, I just like we can't tell like if it needs more water or not. And if it needs more water and it floods, we can't drain out the water. There's like a whole bunch going on. So that's why next time we'll just get smaller plants that we won't need to change the soil and everything for ourselves. We can actually just use whatever it comes in, or actually ask someone who knows what they're doing. So yeah, it's too easy, Ita. But yeah, we can't even I can't even take care of a house plant. I don't think I can take care of anything else. So that's kind of why that's about it. House pet, about maybe house plant. That's about it, right? Otherwise, anything else it would kill me on the inside if I actually screw up taking care of them. I am both a lazy person and a very forgetful person. So I have to be very careful about what I raise. Like, I have very limited capabilities. Yeah, fair enough. Oh, so what's our progress over here? We're almost done with the line art. I think I gotta just do over here some line art. I gotta add in buffalo. And we're doing pretty good otherwise. Yeah, 2 viewers, just me and you. That makes sense. Alright. Forgot I do have this place. I could have also said doctor. Oh. Hold up a second, I can just share this stream over here in this one particular place. You forgot to post 5 killing. There we go. I posted the yeah, I know. I got it. I'm not gonna forget about buffalo. So yeah, I just went ahead and I shared the stream link. We might get one more person. We might not. Who knows? I mean, everything is just. Yeah, I mean, everything's just a matter of who knows, I guess. Especially, since I'm just starting off. But yeah. I had fun so far. I gotta look into exactly how do I best draw this guy. Now, we're gonna get into the exciting part as soon as I finish Buffalo. Once I add in Buffalo, I'm gonna start doing the shading. And because I'm gonna try doing something different for the shading, right? Usually I do the coloring first and then the shading after that. But I wanted to try, because I've seen online that some people have done the shading first and then colored it. I just wanted to see, like, how does that work, right? Would that be a good fit for me? Because I think I might be able to handle it better. Getting all the details worked out in black and white first, and then adding colors. I'm not entirely certain though, which is why I'm gonna have to try it out first. That's why I want to do it There's a learning stream. That's why the title of the stream is Art and Chill. It's a learning process. Post scheduling is one of those things that can make a break. Yeah, I know. That's why I've kind of sorted myself into, this is the time I stream. 8 p.m. my time. And if I make a video, I'll probably make it go live around 6 p.m. or 5:30 or something like that. That's kind of what I've vaguely decided upon, and that's what I'm going with. Although, to be fair, it might not be the right choice, but I think it just works better. I don't know. Otherwise, I don't think it's a good thing to stream like first thing in the morning and stuff, because I got work, and in the middle of the day, what am I'm not gonna have much of a chance to do that. So it just like feels like end of the day, do a stream. That's probably the best idea, right? Because it also does serve as like more art practice. Try to get better at it, right? Buffalo looks so derpy. Is he? Yes, Buffalo is wearing a helmet. Well, I say helmet, it's more like a fur cap. Buffalo is a very derpy bird. I would look at the reference again, but I'd have to open up Discord and search for it, which would take quite a bit of time. Just because I'm slow. It's not going to be hard to find, it's just I'm slow. Buffalo is such a derp. Okay. So I suppose let's hide this for now. Delete the ruler. So here's the first main step, right? How will I do this? I'm gonna copy paste first really quickly. I'm gonna call the first one O1C. I'm gonna call the second layer copy O1CS. Now in O1CS, I'm gonna try this first. I'm gonna select a bit of, all of this stuff, right? I'm in the same layer, right? I'm in the line art layer, so anything I draw is gonna be going over. So I'm gonna go into here and I'm going to see about how I can like add in the shading or something like that, if I can or not. Let's see. No, not like this. How would I best add in the shading? Let me just look into. I could call. Maybe I'll use the paintbrush or something like that, right? That might work. Yep. So if I use the paintbrush, I might be able to get some decent shading in here. I'm not entirely certain yet. I have no idea what you said yes to. It's that might not even be, that's probably not even a lag thing. It's probably just a matter of I can't remember what I said. My memory is just barely acceptable, I can just about get stuff done, but that's about it. Especially it's like I can remember more or less what people saying, like whatever I'm saying, especially now that I'm streaming. I'm just trying to make words and happen. I don't even know what I'm saying half the time. So yeah, I'm just trying to hope that I'm shading this right, because I am following like a different thing. Because I've never shaded this way before. Like I've always shaded like with harder lines and stuff. I've once shaded like this, almost like a painting style, using actual like this is the paintbrush instead of just the regular brush like ink stuff or whatnot. So I'm kind of going with this and I'm trying to just figure out how exactly am I doing this. I've also never separated out layers like this before. So that's pretty interesting. Like it's not even layers, it's on one layer I'm working with, but I'm like trying to, how do I describe this? I'm trying to like separate out the fur specifically, and I'm going into here. That's a nice shading effect. Thank you. We're gonna have to see how it looks later. Luckily, I've saved it as a separate layer, right? So if something goes wrong, we can just retry. This is a learning experience after all. And I guess let's focus on the skin now. Yeah, let's do the face specifically first, I suppose. Oh, I tilted in a weird way. Oh, what am I doing? Okay, hold up. Well, we're keeping the light source up here. You know, just this way is the light source. It shouldn't be too hard on. Oh, I just realized that it's going to be quite tricky, isn't this? Okay, I'm gonna have to hope it doesn't screw with my lines too much. Then again, I do have a copy of the line art. I might just superimpose that over this. Maybe shade underneath buffalo. Okay, what does that mean? What do you mean shade underneath buffalo? Like I'm gonna eventually get to buffalo, but by underneath buffalo, do you mean like underneath his lines? Or do you mean like legitimately on his hair underneath buffalo? You don't know. Oh wait, is that something from that's something older, huh? Yeah, so here's the thing. Basically, I'm working on. Okay, how do I say this? This time around, I'm actually just doing things like separately. I guess that's a better way to say it. I'm using the wand tool to select a specific region, and I'm doing the shading one region at a time. Where usually I would just do the shading like either all at once or specifically like for one color at once. But this time I'm just focusing on the shading alone, and then I'll do things more like, you know, the color and whatnot, right? I'll add the color later. Right now it's just getting the shading done is pretty important. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I just realized because of how cartoon-ish I made his face or whatnot, wouldn't like a realistic style just look super derpy on him? It might. Yeah. Don't worry about that, I was just me drinking water. It looks so weird, God. Especially since I'm seeing it all like seconds later. So how are you doing? How's your day going, by the way? Hmm. So should I shadow for eyes as well? Yeah, probably should do that. This side as well. A little bit of shading for the head. Now he's got some fat going on, but doing good. Just taking care of the puppies. Oh, that's good. Adorable. Hmm. I feel like this should be about right for the face. Maybe darker. I don't know. I could go a bit darker because it is the face. Yeah. The face, like skin, can be a little darker shading, I guess. A little harsher shadows than, well, you know, the fur or hair. Not gonna make it too bad though. Okay, let's take a look so far. Okay, not bad, not bad. Let's do his ears last. Let's just focus on right now this stuff. Okay, hold up. What am I? Did I mess up? Wait, Control Shift D. Control D. I'm selecting the skin, but why is it selecting everything? Is there a huge break somewhere I didn't notice before? Oh, that would be quite troublesome. This can't be it, right? This can't be the big break, which is like making it select literally everything. No, it's got to be somewhere here, maybe with the hand. Maybe. Okay, this should be fine now. Let's try this one more time. W, select, and just to make sure it's working, I'm just gonna raise up the thing and just, yeah. So it's only selecting that now. That's fine. Then W and shift here, shift here, shift, shift. There, now everything should be fine. It should only affect the skin. And so that's what I'm gonna be doing now. Big hitbox, yes. Some cartoon style can work well with heavy shadows. Yeah, well, with specific Wednesday and Frankie and Denny. Oh, that's adorable. This is some pretty cool names. Did you come up with the names, or did he have names already to begin with? And as for the, the some cartoon styles with heavy shadows, yeah, I understand that. The thing is, I'm kind of going with vaguely more realistic shading. It's not really going to be that much more realistic, but it's, it's a bit more realistic than just my regular shading methods. Which is why I'm a little worried now that this is a specifically kind of cartoonish character. His face, at least. I'm just worried about how well it'll work, but yeah, I'm just going with it, seeing how the winds take me, right? They had names. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Otherwise, I was gonna ask you, like, Wednesday, is that named after like that game, like that character from some story? I can't remember. I don't think I remember the actual thing, but I know there's some kid named Wednesday who's like fairly popular or something. I don't know the details. I've not read into it. Maybe something with Teen Titans. Who knows? Oh, Addams Family. Yes, my brother just actually told me the answer. He decided I was having too much of a disadvantage with my brain. He's like, "Yep, Wednesday from Addams Family." That makes sense. I didn't actually know that. I didn't actually remember her name was Wednesday. What's the name of the? Yeah. Oh, I didn't see what you wrote. So I was just waffling over here trying to guess on my own. You also answered it along with my brother. Okay, that's pretty cool. So what's the name of the boy in Addams Family? Because Wednesday is the girl, right? What's the boy's name? The brother. Pugsley. Oh god, that reminds me so much of like the Dugsleys, the Dunsleys from Harry Potter. Dugsley. What a name. I used to love the Addams Family. I can't believe I just completely forgot the name of the character. Huh? But then again, I guess I've always been pretty bad with names, unless they're like the character the show is named after, like Johnny Bravo. Or like Coding Kids Next Door, where they're all just number 1, number 2. And I remember number 1's name is Nigel. I don't know why I remember his name, Nigel. I don't know why I remember his name. And I don't remember anything else. I don't remember any of the other names in the show. But I remember his name is Nigel. I'm so confused why. But whatever. Cartoon Network had some great shows. I remember the live action Addams Family thing was kind of blurred, wasn't it? Honestly, in Codename Kid Next Door, my favorite was the blonde one, number 4. I don't know why, but he was one of my favorites. I think he was the favorite, and then it was Lulu, because he was just fun. He was just a fun character. Then it was another one of the competent ones, which was number 3. Oh no, Lulu was number 3, right? Harry Potter. I'm going to bed. Oh, I hope you have fun with the Harry Potter campaign. Let me know how it goes. Are you still in the same year? Like, what's the year difference? Like from when you went in, right? You went in as a 5th year. Now, what year are you? Also, is Wallaby supposed to be okay? You're still 5th year, so it's still the same year. The year hasn't changed yet. Okay, okay, that's pretty cool. It's like a one long year. I thought wasn't the campaign supposed to go on like for multiple years? I guess it's one of those campaigns, isn't it? The kind of campaign which is probably not going to finish. Okay, fair enough. I think I want to just make a video just exploring these random topics we've been talking about today, because that sounds like it could be fun. Just birds, turkeys, you know, and then just trying to trying to draw an eldritch god vaguely based on them and be like, look, this is its true identity, true form. Okay. I mean, I think birds being like the weird eldritch beings is probably more plausible than them being government security cameras. And don't get me wrong, I get the meme. It's a fun meme, but you know, it's not very plausible. Weird eldritch entities, right? Very plausible. Want to conclude Nicholas's story. What about the rest of the characters? Like, who? I don't I don't remember if you've told me too much about all the other people, right? The other players. How many players are there? Also, I realize that now there's going to be just a conversation between you and me, essentially, over like a 10-second lag, and me being on speech and you being on text, and anyone else who watches this later is just not going to have any context of what's going on. They're just going to know that I'm drawing. But me drawing isn't even the main thing anymore. It's just chill, you know? Art and chill. I'm chilling, I suppose. Okay, how is this going so far? Oh, wait, I don't want to erase the hand thing too much. Hand lines don't need to. It's pretty rough to remember. I remember most of the players are different houses. Fair enough, fair enough. So is it like you're resuming the campaign, right? Like, is it a full party that's there, or is it like less people, right? My boy's Hufflepuff. Yeah, I know. Adorable. One of the best houses, Yellow House. Wait a second. Wait, your boy's Hufflepuff, right? But wasn't his costume yellow? Am I remembering wrong? Wasn't yellow Gryffindor? I love Harry Potter, but it's been like ages since I've interacted with it. I'll eventually want to rewatch all the movies, but it's just been ages. Like, Gryffindor's yellow, Hufflepuff is blue, uh, Slytherin's green, and what's the remaining one? Hufflepuff, Slytherin, Gryffindor, Ravenclaw. Ravenclaw was blue. Hufflepuff is purple. Ravenclaw blue. Hufflepuff is yellow. What color is Gryffindor then? Orange? Red and gold. Okay. Wait, what's the difference between gold and yellow? Man, you know what? In the books, right? Slytherin is just evil. Slytherin is the evil faction. Like, just there's not really a whole lot more personalization that goes into them, at least in as far as J.K. Rowling's work goes. But in the fan fiction side, like they've completely flushed it out to being like its whole different thing. So that was pretty cool. I think I remember seeing some gameplay of like the new Harry Potter game, and they've kind of changed Slytherin's headquarters from being like in the dungeon to being like a it's vaguely dungeon-esque, but it's like a much more humane place. Okay, what do you think so far of this? I think this is working. Hufflepuff yellow, Ravenclaw blue, Gryffindor is red. Slytherin is green. Okay, red. Okay, well, thank you. I'll have to keep that in mind. And now let's just match this up. I decided, I'll try making this guy's like a bit more metallic. Me. Let's see. Yeah, his tattoos are gonna be a bit more metallic. We're gonna see how that works out for him. Looks good. Thanks. Glad it's turning out alright so far, but again, we're kind of just in the first stage. I just have to hope that it lasts. I'll do this. No. Focus on specific displays. The pants next. So obviously you're gonna do some shading underneath right here. Gryffindor and Slytherin overrated. Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw or nerds. Hufflepuff gets so little love in the lore. I mean, yeah, I suppose. Although it's also kind of nonsense, because if you think about it, who's the most nerdy character in the book, in the show, right? In the entire series, who's the most nerdy character? Hermione. Where does Hermione go? Gryffindor. Right? She doesn't go with the smart people, because no. She might be smart, but no. She's important. She's a main character. So she has to go into Gryffindor, the heroes faction, because she's a hero. And that was pretty hilarious. So yeah, Gryffindor means you're brave, right? Ravenclaw means you're smart. Slytherin means you're cunning, which is different from being smart somehow, It's the more evil version of being smart, right? And then Hufflepuff is, what is Hufflepuff supposed to dedicate? Love? Family? Honor? I honestly can't remember. Cooperation. Oh. So wait, isn't cooperation supposed to be the main trait of heroes? Cannon fodder. Well, Patrick. Yeah, fair play. Well, Patrick, my brother seems to disagree with you. My brother seems to think of Hufflepuff as cannon fodder, which Gryffindor's cannon fodder? Okay, no, apparently he agrees with you. Yeah, like, you know, you can be brave if you rush out into the front lines and get blasted by, the Death Eaters. And I guess to be fair, that could be anything. Like, yeah, I remember watching this video, okay? It's an amazing video where they're just talking about Slytherin, right? Because this person is specifically like, she likes the Slytherin house a lot, but the Slytherin, the fan fiction essentially, not the Slytherin of the original Harry Potter lore. And basically, she went through the whole series and she's talking about how basically, if you're Slytherin, you're evil. And Slytherin is custom made to put people in the evil. Yeah. Slytherin is custom made. But honestly, to be fair, I don't know if my brother said, like, he prefers Hufflepuff or if he just thinks Gryffindor's overrated. So either way, he agrees with you. Yes, his exact words are, "Don't look into Gryffindor if you want sanity," which is, true. Fair enough. I suppose in that sense, Hermione's a perfect fit after all. Doesn't she reverse time hundreds upon hundreds of times just so that she can get in some extra cramming? Yeah, I think she completely failed. That's why she's not a Ravenclaw, because she's actually an idiot. Huh? She just had a lot more time to practice. Huh? She had the power of literal time travel, and she used it to get better at maths. Yeah. So yeah, basically that's what we're going with right now. So yeah, this video was pretty awesome. It went into all of the Slytherin characters, and it's basically talking about how all of them are evil, and Slytherin was literally tailor-made to be evil because, well, one of the main things is, bruh, their house is the dungeon. They literally, listen, if you think too deeply about it, right, a lot of things just seem to not make a huge ton of sense. But that's fine. It's a beautiful story, right? It's just the background settings are a bit awkward and weird. But yeah, so one of the main things is you're being sorted into a house based on a single personality trait, right? Which, if you are a human, you ideally possess more than one of, right? If you're a human, you can ideally be courageous sometimes, cowardly sometimes. You can apply your smarts, hopefully, at some point. And you can learn to work together, hopefully, at some point, right? So it's kind of a matter of, a lot of the characters, if they're not in Slytherin, are actual characters for the most part. So they can show all the core human traits and whatnot, right? Unlike this Divergent or whatnot, which kind of has the same system but just does not, it just does it so much worse because it's just some kind of team drama. But yeah, if you look about it, yeah, I know. Rowling based Slytherin on bullies, and Snape was the one good character, but he is the one good character with a whole bunch of issues, right? How do I explain this? Second, my brain has stopped working. Starlight.exe is taking extra time to respond. Is this program working? Yes, no. Yeah, so basically what she said was it would make a lot more sense if you swapped houses every year or something like that, right? Because the idea is you're trying to teach kids the importance of these values, right? But if you just say, okay, this is your value, right? You are brave. That is all of your life story just comes down to you are brave. That's it. That's your life story. You're brave. Oh, you're smart. Oh, you're cunning. When you could ideally possess more than one of these attributes at a time, which is probably why Harry Potter got to pick his house, you know, and why the main character can pick their house as well in, Harry Hogwarts Legacy. Because, you have an inclination towards a house, but it's not like, you're hard locked in. Like Harry Potter could have been in Slytherin. The only thing that stopped him from being so is just the fact that he said he didn't want to be, right? It could be his strongest value. Yeah, sure. Slytherin. Yeah. So here's the thing. Snape, apparently, okay? Like, how do I say this? Harry's father was basically he is basically a Slytherin true and true, even though he was in Gryffindor. He's just such an asshole, okay? And it's a matter of because of him, Snape was kind of because of him, Snape was kind of like turned away or whatnot, right? He was bullied into like accepting the values of like Slytherin and essentially just working for them. So that's just how that kind of worked out. Because again, this is kind of like how it works, right? With people, when you reject someone, they have to go towards people who'll accept them, and that's kind of like how bigotry just gets spread, right? Because if the one people who accept you the most are bigots, well, your values are going to align more with them than anyone else, right? So that's kind of what happens with the House of Slytherin. Because the only people around who are friendly are, well, the purebloods, the horrible defilers. Also, they live in a goddamn dungeon. And they're also the favored house, surprisingly enough, despite being the bullies and whatnot, right? Apparently, not everyone is just an absolute bully, he can't get anything done. Most of the people in House Slytherin are doing a decent job, otherwise how else would they always be in the lead, right? It's clearly not favoritism, like they're living in the goddamn dungeon. Yeah, I know, Slytherin has been shafted entirely because J.K. Rowling didn't write them to be people, she wrote them to be villains. But yeah, so if you look at it in that way, right? So I don't know how to best describe it, but yeah. So it's a complicated mess. Fanfiction handles it pretty well. Not just fanfiction. Like like I said, I looked at a little bit of Hogwarts Legacy online, okay, and so they had this cool thing where basically they actually don't have like the Slytherins be evil. The Slytherins aren't the villains. I mean, they might be in the end, but for the most part, they don't do that. So they actually treat Slytherins as people, and they don't like be like, oh, this is the special house, that's the special house. Especially since I guess it's a game for the fans. So it's kind of a matter of it's built so that you could be at any house. Like honestly, I would never be able to tell you everything that happened in that video just because it's such a huge video. It was like an hour long or something of just someone talking about how the Slytherins aren't people, they're just villains, and especially in the books. Anyway, I think I'm really close now. Oh, I'm so close to being done with this step at least of our boy Bash. How long have I been going? I need to look at this. About in almost 2 hours. That's oof. But even Nicholas being chilled has his moments where he could slip into darkness to his next step. Yeah. I mean, everyone has the potential for being evil. You know? Like, just because everyone has a cunning side. Well, almost everyone. Most people have a cunning side to them. Where it's a matter of you could be the nicest person, but that doesn't mean that you can't have a cunning side. Like, you could be like, what if, right? Even if it's just a moment, right? Even if it doesn't really lead to anywhere, even if it's about, good values, right? If you're thinking about what could I do, right? What could I do here that could have the maximum positive impact? That's still cunning. Guess what? That's still cunning. You're just being cunning on the good side. Because the word cunning itself, like, it's been kind of more or less taken to be evil. But the actual action itself isn't necessarily evil, but yeah, that's kind of what it's become. Harry avoiding being Slytherin because he didn't want to is BS. Well, you say that, but Harry avoiding being Slytherin, in a sense, it does make more sense, isn't it? Because player choice, like, again, the choice of the student's also important, right? That is what the Sorting Hat does. If you look at Hogwarts Legacy, you're allowed to choose your own. You're allowed to pick what you want, right? I think, I can't remember because I only saw it in a video or something like that. But I know you can pick I know you can pick the school, right? You can pick the. What am I thinking of? I know you can pick the house, but I think you might be able to also like answer questions, and that'll give you a house to begin with, right? It'll basically be like, yes, you like this and this. Well, then it sounds like this is the house for you, right? But then in that sense, it's like it makes sense that you're able to pick your house because obviously that's a more fair system where you answer some questions and you say what you want, right? You answer your questions and you also tell the hat what you prefer, and they'll put you in the house. Versus, for Harry Potter, it kind of sounds like, Jesus Christ. It's like a person. It's not really like a personality choice, but yeah, I guess it's basically a matter of what do you value, right? That's the questions. So they ask you what you value, and they kind of give you a choice of a house based on that. But also, you get to pick out a house on your own. So it's kind of strange in a sense, Okay, so looking at this here, the end result, not bad, but I realized I might have screwed up over here. So what happened was, I should have actually separated the shading from the line art, because the way how I've seen it online is when you're doing the shading and the line art, it kind of should be separate. It should be together just because the line art blends in, but mine doesn't. So that might be a bit of an issue. I guess we'll find out, right? So do I put the colors above or below? I'll probably put the colors below, right? So here, colors. And I suppose what's his color, right? It's green. Ogre is green, brown. I meant personality quiz. Yeah, that's basically what the house quizzes have become in the fan fiction realm. But yeah, it's all strange, isn't it? I guess it's a matter of like how much effort you put into like all the smaller details. Have you watched any of the more recent movies? Like the more recent Harry Potter movies, like Fantastic Beasts, Where to Find Them, and then the ones beyond that? Because I watched Fantastic Beasts and I thought that was a pretty fun movie. But I have read deeply about the rest of the movies after that, but haven't watched them myself. But I've heard so much about the plot and like, I dropped after the Half Blood Prince. Oh, but you didn't watch all the Harry Potter movies. Did you read all you didn't watch it all, huh? Okay, fair enough. Was it just was it just not interesting enough, or was it just too much? Like specifically, the thing is, like I watched all the Harry Potter stuff, at least the basic stuff, right? The 13 movies, which should have been 12 movies, because why did he turn the last one into a two-parter, the smallest book? But yeah, I watched all the Harry Potter movies. Am I remembering this correctly? As the no, wait a second. Okay, I might be an idiot. They did turn the last book into two movies, right? Or am I just remembering the game? Snape killing Dumbledore. But spoilers, but who's gonna see this? And it's been decades, almost a decade. I mean, yeah, fair enough. I understand why that would be. I understand why that would be like a big bummer. Yeah, I don't know why, but apparently, uh, she J.K. Rowling really wanted to make Snape a hero, despite putting him in Slytherin. It's like this whole huge thing of him being undercover, you know, working with the Death Eaters, all of that stuff, right? And just for him to kill Dumbledore is just like it's pretty painful. Like J.K. Rowling writes good, she writes pretty well. She obviously had her problems with Slytherin, but overall, Harry Potter was a great story. It's a beautiful story. But she writes books, not movies. And so what happens is the recent movies, the recent movies are kind of not that great because she's writing the script for the movie, and instead of writing a book and then someone else adapting that for a movie, she's writing the script for the movie, which is full of all sorts of mess. It's filled with all sorts of nonsense. Like that's why they had so much stuff happen, and that's why all the wizards. Hold up a second. And that's why you now have to think of, yeah, this is why you now have to think about the fact that the wizards were around when World War II happened. World War II happened, the wizards were around. And canonically, most wizards are perfectly happy with genocide. Also, Hogwarts didn't have toilets until like 1820 or something like that. Wizards will just poop or do their business wherever and just magic it all away. Because J.K. Rowling just keeps adding weird stuff to her stories. It's not even in her story, that last one. Just she tweeted about it. Oh, it's painful. Yeah. I love the original series, and that's about it. I'm not interacting with any of the extra stuff. The fan stuff, it's pretty good, as far as I know. Yeah. Hogwarts Legacy looked amazing. I wanted one. I wanted one. I wonder how evil you can be in that game. If they left it alone, the franchise would be dead. I mean, to be fair, yeah, we'd probably not place here, but Harry Potter as a resurgence thanks to activists. Yes, I've heard about that. It's one of the best played games. Just yeah, one of the best played games. Like it's a great. From what I hear, it's just actually a legitimately great game as well. And no, the franchise wouldn't be dead if they leave it alone because it's. I think it's just a really powerful franchise. A lot of people care about it. So I think it has legs on its own. So even the hate probably carried the game over, well over the line. But I think the game would have succeeded regardless because it's just a good game and in a well loved series, right? Well loved franchise. I've got to now line up. Just got to color the legs, but I also got to make sure I don't color, you know, the pants because I decided I'm gonna just do the pants underneath the skin, which might sound backwards and it is, but it's just easier right now. And honestly, in a non-moving picture, it doesn't matter what layers wear. If it's a rigged picture like a 2D model, then you're gonna have to be very careful about that stuff. Otherwise, fine. Yeah, this is taking a lot longer than I thought it would. Like, wow. It might not have, me talking about birds might not have helped either. But I feel like one of the biggest issues here kind of is the shading technique I'm going with is well, I guess I'm gonna have to wait until the end to find out if it's good or not. But I have a feeling that it's got problems. Especially with the way how I'm drawing it and the fact that I'm using these particular lines. But yeah, I guess we'll find out. I do wonder though, there is a conspiracy that harassment was manufactured. I mean, yeah, the shading might be fine. The thing is, I'm going to need to change the setting because it's obviously I can't use this setting for the shading. I'm gonna need to change like the opacity, color, and all of that stuff. But I need to actually fill in some colors first. About the harassment being manufactured, I don't believe that. You know, like if we're talking about the harassment is like some alt-right psyop or something. No, no. I think it was just Twitter people being Twitter people. Sometimes the simplest answer is the right one. Alright, this is probably an easy way of doing this. I could have just. I don't know why I didn't think about doing that earlier. That was bad. Yeah, just use the paint bucket tool over here. Close this, open this, and then come back and then just correct the mistakes. Yeah, Twitter people can be crazy from what I hear. It's not like all of them though, just the vocal minority. Just because someone's in Twitter doesn't mean they're insane. It's just kind of like when you react like an idiot, people like to watch and listen, right? So it's kind of like that cycle just feeding into each other over and over again. So let's make this lighter, more colorful or something like that. And let's see. If I change the shading to saturation, no, that's definitely the wrong mode. Right? No, hold up a second. Overlay, overlay might be. It's no, that's a bit too bright. Soft light might maybe. Hard light. What's the difference between hard light and normal? No difference. Darken? No. Multiply? No. Brightness? Saturation? Difference? Color dodge? No. Screen? No. So I guess I just gotta actually pick normal and just reduce the opacity or something. And I think it would be mostly fine. Hmm. Got some issues. I'll have to sort that out. Yeah, some just want attention. That's just how they do. Yeah, you know, I might call this a wash and stop this soon. Just because I'm like, I'm trying a new technique and it's not exactly going the right way. But I'm just gonna just really quickly fill in the pants at least first. So for the pants, I'm just going to go with like brown because why not, right? Brown seems like a perfectly fine idea. I'll change it later if I feel like, yeah, maybe green would be better or something else because they are pants, right? They could be dyed any color. They don't need to be brown, you know. Maybe a different shade of brown. Maybe a more orangey brown, desaturated brown. Yeah, it has been a learning experience. That's the title of the screen. Sorry, that's the title of the stream. It's a learning process. Just been me trying to figure this out. Because I could have gone about this in a different way, but I chose to go about it in this way. At least I know that, this might work for me, but maybe if I do a different process, right? If I follow my regular shading process, like actually, you do the line art like I did here, and then I do the shading on a separate layer, that might work. And then I do the coloring underneath that, right? Hide the shading layer, drop in the colors, open the shading layer, and I can do the specific multiplier, whatever needed on that alone. That might work. I can do that still, I still have the option because I've got the line art layer, right? I've made a copy of it, I made a backup, it's separate. So I should be able to just do that. Remember, if you're working on something big, right? Like whether it's like art like this or a game project or story or something, just remember to save often. Getting some water. That might be fun. Okay, ignore that with my model. That was just me drinking water. And the camera just having no idea how to deal with that. Next time I'm gonna actually just move myself out of the way if I drink water. Maybe. Oh, that's terrifying. I'm sorry, just has to reply to the order. Uh-huh. I'll be around for about maybe 10 more minutes. Maybe that sounds good. Live for about maybe 10 minutes. Streaming's fun. At least it's a good way I can chat and I can try to improve myself, which are two fun goals. The goals are also too fun. They cannot rightfully exist in this world. Just kidding. Okay, let's see. You know what? I'm gonna do this. I should just do the. I should make shortcuts. This is shortcut method, okay? You go down here to this clean line art layer, and you literally just use the fill tool on it. There's nothing wrong with doing this. This is just called making it easy. Because what? I did all this work already. There we go. Now I'm in here. It's colored, and I just got to make sure, it's colored properly. Like the edges are filled. So yeah, that's something pretty important. Work smart, not hard. Although in my case, I'm not particularly smart, so I'm just gonna be working hard and just trying to figure out what or not I'm doing. Oh. Yeah. Been fun so far. Talk about a learning experience, just trying to learn what or not I'm doing. So let's reduce the opacity a little. Let's reduce the saturation, darken it a bit. I think this works. Might be a better fit. Not that bad. Do you think we should give him black hair? Does that sound good? What do you think? Just black hair. Let's leave Buffalo. Let's put Buffalo underneath the hair. Is the otter on? He missed some crazy conversations. He's talking. He probably won't be able to come on. He's had a busy day. It's understandable. Black. Yep. Black sounds good. I'll probably change, again, I'll show this to the otter probably later. I mean, I might want to just actually clean up some of this first, but then I will show it to him. I want to clean up this godforsaken line art. This, not line art, the shading, right? I want to do some cleaning up on the shading, and I will probably show it to him after that, and he'll tell me oh, does this work? Does this not work? So far, I am liking it, but it's also just a matter of So the shading I did, I like it more or less, but I should have separated it into a different layer so I could try using some different tools with it. Try using some different kind of blends. If I could just click overlay or something, you can see this. Maybe vaguely something like this, but no. So now this is looking a lot better. So this is the normal layer, okay, the normal line art and shading, and I'm gonna open another layer which is a copy of this but on overlay, and look at that, the colors match a lot better. So if I lighten this a bit, I think the colors work pretty well over here. It's a lot more semi-realistic-esque, kind of. So I'm gonna just make a copy of this, and if I just blur it a little bit, filter, blur, Gaussian blur. So I'm gonna make a blur copy, and I have the original copy as well. But if I'm gonna reduce the opacity on this, reduce the opacity. Okay. I think he's looking pretty good right about now, isn't he? I mean, granted, I still have to do his eyes, the teeth, Buffalo, the ropes. But overall, I think the coloring method is nice. It just lacks a bit of polish, right? Yeah, thanks. He'll have to. I don't think he'll be listening to the word later. I'm not going to recommend him do that. That's a lot of weird talk. That's it. I might want to clip out some of the stuff which I've said because, it might be interesting reference for later. But yeah, I do like it so far. I think it all kind of works, but the shading's half-assed. Like if I put the shading on a separate layer, things might have been a bit better. I could like copy paste. It wouldn't be as bad. Or you know what? I can add more shading. It's simple as that. If I add more shading, it wouldn't. It might look better. Like, and then yeah. Okay, hold up. Where am I now? I just gotta finish filling this out. Yeah. Well, I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great day. The crazy talks are fun. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, the crazy talks are also well warranted because, goddamn, turkeys. This, they are abominations, okay? I know it's rude to talk about them that way, but they are eldritch abominations. You cannot deny this. No one can deny this. How can anyone possibly deny that there are eldritch abominations? Uh, let's hide these, come here, and just go into this place and just fill out really quickly. Fill, 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 fill. I guess maybe they should be red, huh? They might need to be red. Oh, but it looks good. I do like how it's going. It's maybe if I drew like a more normal character, I'd have a much better understanding of what I'm doing, but it's not too bad so far. If I just added in another layer, I added some shading, like specifically what I'm thinking of, okay, is if I put some shading around like here, it's missing some shading, you know, here, underneath this, you know, very rather specific, and over here a bit more shading, then that would be pretty good. Huh? So that's specifically like if I add that in, I wouldn't have too much of an issue. Like you can see here, as I just did very vague shading, but from a distance you can see it's looking a lot cleaner. And if I also go down here, click this button, be soft. And there, you can see like it's kind of, I didn't do it like, I refuse those creatures exist. Camel spiders? Hold up. Wait 1 second. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna put it on stream. That's terrifying. Oh my god. What have what have you described? What have you told me about? I'm gonna look these up. I'm gonna try making a video or something, just me looking this up. Maybe I'll do a stream or something like that where I just look up these weird creatures. But anyway, so if I just do this extra bit of shading in this specific way, I think it looks pretty good. Then I'll just need to do the lighting, and I'll have Dubin at least figured out. It wasn't a complete waste, at least. It was just inefficient. You know, like I could have done the same thing, but had the shading on its separate layer. If I did that, things would have been a bit better. But yeah, I'd like to think I did fairly okay. Anyway, I think I'm gonna be ending the stream right now. Does that sound good? It's been, God, it's been 2 hours 15 minutes. I might want to make his tattoos a bit cleaner, but yeah. Bye bye.